you for joining us for this Orgullosamente Outdoors conversation. I'm happy to be here with y'all today. My name is Luis Rincon, and I am the Program and Operations Manager with Latino Outdoors. As part of this conversation, we're actually going to have two special guests join us, Crystal and Antonella. So I'm actually going to give me a moment while I invite them to join us here. Okay, let's see. Hola,
Hola.
hola, hola.
¿Me ves bien o no?
Sí, sí, sí. Okay, I'm working on getting Crystal on here. Give me 1 second.
No problem. Take your time.
All the requests. Oh, I think there she is. Hola, Crystal.
Hola. Hola.
Yeah. Hola, hola. Thank y'all for joining and coming and being part of this special conversation. I know part of Orgullosamente Outdoors, and throughout the month of June, we're going to be sharing and celebrating Pride, the love, history, and joy. And we're going to be featuring stories, curated content, videos, resources, and virtual conversations. And then also highlighting those outings that are Latino Outdoors volunteers like y'all will be leading within your regions. So I guess to get us going and get us started with this conversation, how about we get started with some introduction. So I'll go ahead and let Antonella go first.
Cool. Gracias. Hi, everyone. My name is Antonella, and my pronouns are they and she, ella and ella. I'm the child of Gisela and Pepe. I'm a dog and snake parent, partner, friend, community member. And, I like to state my positionality and name some identity markers because they're really relevant to how I show up in space. So I'm queer, neurodivergent, Peruvian immigrant. I benefit from white privilege, and currently I don't have any disabilities that impact my mobility. So that's just a few things that impact how I show up in space and who's showing up in the screen today. That's my intro.
Yeah, gracias, Antonella. Crystal, would you like to do an intro?
Yeah. Thanks so much, Antonella, for sharing that. I really appreciate. Yeah, I think that just what you did is part of our conversation today. Yo soy Cristal. I use she, they pronouns, and I am the Colorado Regional Coordinator for Latino Outdoors. So I work really closely with our volunteers and partners in the Colorado community. Based out of Denver, have been loving the outdoor for many, many years, but didn't really realize that I could be like part of the story and part of the conversation. So I'm really happy to be here with two people that I really admire.
Oh, thank you. Thank you both for introducing yourselves. I know, Antonella, you are the founder and executive director of Puentes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Can you share a little bit more about how Puentes was born and what the mission is?
Yeah, definitely. Also, just want to shout out LO Central Coast. I volunteer with Central Coast Regional Latino Outdoors. So, but yeah, Puentes. Yeah, Puentes came about because of my own kind of struggling with belonging when it came to outdoor recreation and outdoor education, which I worked in for several years. The dominant culture around all of that I found was causing a lot of harm to me, and I didn't even know it. And I knew it at some points, but I couldn't pinpoint specific things. And was talking to a lot of my loved ones too, and finding that was a common theme. And it wasn't until getting to connect with folks actually through organizations like Latino Outdoors and through Justice Outside too in the Bay Area that I was like, oh, this is not just me. This is something that a lot of folks experience. So I wanted to create something that really not only focused on adventure and skill building for like backpacking and camping and stuff like that, but also really centered the joy and stories and the psychological well-being of our communities. So yeah, Puentes is essentially outdoor experiential programs that are for and by Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And we're just starting out now, building the team, super small, and have one little cohort program that is the second year running, and doing little partner programs. So we'll see where it goes.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Just that passion, right, that brought you to create Puentes and kind of connect more with the community outdoors. So I know y'all both have experience with backpacking trips. So I just wanted to just ask, how do you foster a safe and inclusive space in both Puentes and outdoors? So I guess for this one, we'll go ahead and get Crystal to get started first.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so happy to share. Um, yeah, Antonella, I took a look at the Puentes Instagram too to kind of get familiar, and I'm loving a lot of the work that you're doing. Um, but yeah, I worked as a backpacking guide in Utah for about 2 years, and it was a really interesting experience. I was actually working for an outdoor, it was like a therapeutic wilderness program, which, as many people have like probably known and heard about, there's a lot of like controversy around that. And we were, for the most part, working predominantly um, with like more affluent white youth. And every now and then we would get youth that would come in that were people of color or people that had like marginalized identities. We had a ton of queer youth as well. And I think one of the things that was enormously helpful for them was having somebody like me who also occupies and has different marginalized identities, who's also queer and can like really connect with those youth. Yeah, I think the way that I like tried to help foster that safety and belonging was, if racism was happening, if like we saw microaggressions, we were going to call them out and then call people in and have a conversation about what that was, understanding that sometimes even people have like good intentions. Maybe you didn't intend to like commit a microaggression or whatever, but sometimes it happens and it's okay. Like, let's talk about it. So there was a lot of, I think, appreciation of not being to have, like, not having to be the person to call that out, being able to have a staff person to do it. And then I think the other thing too was I really try to foster, whenever I'm teaching anybody about anything outdoors related, I try to approach as a teacher being very like humble, patient, kind, and compassionate, just recognizing that, not everybody's had the access to like these different opportunities. I definitely never want to shame anybody if they're in the process of learning something, because it is really hard learning. And even for me, learning to backpack was a humbling experience. And I remember what that was like. And I, yeah, want to bring people in to experience the joy of it with like, yeah, a lot of compassion and understanding around like a lot of these things are hard processes and like we were maybe not really taught about them. So like, let's learn together. So that's kind of some of the things that I try to do. I'll pass it over to maybe Antonella or back to Luis.
Yeah, I'm happy to share. Spot on. I want to go backpacking with you. um, so the question again was about like facilitating like a safe enough or inclusive space, right? No. Um, yeah, I don't think there is such thing as a fully inclusive or fully safe space. Um, I really think that we can try to cultivate a safe enough container and environment, and I think that comes a lot with authenticity and relationship building. So that means slowing down. A lot of the time it's quality over quantity, so shifting that sort of priority and really, like Crystal said, like meeting people where they're at. And I personally, what Puentes does and what a lot of folks that I'm in community with too is like meeting folks where they're at and catering the experiences based on participant want, needs, desires, and yeah, where they're coming from too. So there's always more work to do in that front. And for me personally, the key is just continuously incorporating feedback, even if it's hard to hear, right? So um, that's what I have for that one.
Thank you both. And, I've actually never been backpacking, so maybe one of these days we can all go backpacking. That would be amazing. But yeah, I appreciate y'all sharing and just sharing a little bit more about creating that, safe environment. And it sounds like just creating that space where asking questions, right? If you don't know how to do something, it's super helpful, right? Creating that space where it's okay if you don't know all the answers and having some guidance. So thank y'all for sharing that. Um, so we have one last question as part of our conversation today. So, what Orgullosamente Outdoors mean to you? And this time we'll get started on that first.
With me, okay, Orgullosamente Outdoors. It means a lot of things. I've been thinking about this one a lot for this year in particular. Firstly, what first comes to mind is just getting to engage in things that I love to do with people that resonate on a similar, I don't know, similar engagement level to what I like to do, and all while getting to be more of myself and not having to I guess put little parts of me away or big parts of me away for the sake of feeling safe enough, so and that's not the same for everyone. So just wanting to name that, like, within the Latinx community, within outdoor community, there, folks can continue to perpetuate transmisia and homophobia, anti-blackness, and for me, Orgullosamente Outdoors, making myself visible and seeing who else feels safe enough to be witnessed, is, for me, helps build community so that we know who to turn towards when folks are facing violence, whether that's in the Latinx community or in the outdoor recreation or education, and just, society as a whole. So I know that's big, but that's what it means to me, and that's what I feel in here.
Thank you. How about you, Crystal?
Oh, that was such a sweet answer. Yeah, I feel very similarly. I think for me, Orgullosamente Outdoors means experiencing like a lot of orgullo and pride. I love celebrating pride, and I think I'm somebody that came kind of into my own queer identity at a later age, and came from like a background that was very religious and like very anti-gay, and so being able to like truly celebrate like this part of me that I now really like love and I wouldn't want to be any other way. Um, yeah, that's part of what it means to me. I, have felt the safest often too with queer community in the outdoors. I've had a lot of like people that have taught me a lot and that have been served kind of as mentors. And I met them like within outdoor community. And so yeah, I'm just so grateful that like Latino Outdoors is also doing a big job of really recognizing like it is something to be orgulloso about and like amplifying a lot of different stories of folks. But yeah, I think just experiencing a lot of orgullo and joy.
Uh, and so I'm also going to share just a little bit about what Orgullosamente Outdoors means to me. So Orgullosamente Outdoors, I feel like within our initiative with Latino Outdoors, I say Orgullosamente Outdoors, it means being able to get outside with my partner, right? And, being able to be out in nature and a like safe, inclusive space where, like you mentioned, Antonella, being like our true, genuine self, right? Like without that fear of like, okay, am I gonna go out and am I gonna, yeah, experience some microaggressions, right? And kind of not feel safe and not want to engage outdoors because I'm not feeling safe. So I super appreciate, with the outings that our teams are leading, right? They're creating these spaces where we can get out, we can engage, we can meet new community members who are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, and just make new friends, right? I feel like as I don't know, personally, as I'm getting older, it's been harder to like really engage and meet new people, right? So I feel like these community spaces allow that opportunity to meet other people from the LGBTQI plus community and just, you know, oftentimes they become like family, extended family. So yeah. Thank you both again for sharing about your experiences, or what Orgullosamente Outdoors means to you. So before we wrap up, Crystal and Antonella, is there anything you want to share? Any events that are coming up, or how people can reach out and get in touch with you?
Crystal, take it away.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so we have in Colorado, I think so far one event I know, our volunteers are working on maybe trying to put some other stuff together, but we're having a Pride and Paletas event in a few weeks. I believe it's like June 23rd. You can visit our Instagram to find the information and not just take my word for it. So yeah, really excited to be in community with folks. And I would say if you're interested in volunteering with us or coming and being a part of the community, yeah, go ahead and send us a message on Instagram. I would be happy to share more about what that looks like. Like Luis was saying, it's such an incredible community. And yeah, we're always looking to keep growing. And I'll see if Antonella has anything to share.
Thank you. Um, it's lunchtime for me, so my brain is like slowly shutting down, so I don't have many things on top of my head. But check out the Latino Outdoors Central Coast. Yeah, the Eventbrite page has everything on there. San Francisco Bay Area Latino Outdoors also has events. And in terms of Puentes public events, if you're interested in something related to water, send me a DM if you're in the area. That's all I can say for now.
A secret.
Thank you for giving us a little into the secret.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both. We appreciate you being part of this conversation. So again, we're celebrating Orgullosamente Outdoors as part of Pride Month in June, but there'll be opportunities for us to engage with Orgullosamente Outdoors throughout the whole year. So be sure to check out our events or any events that are coming up on our website, latinooutdoors.org. And then also tune into our next Orgullosamente Outdoors Plática on June 14th at noon, or 12 p.m. Pacific. And it's going to be with our Low DMV team and Pride Outside. So yeah, tune in. We'll see y'all soon. And thank you again for joining. And gracias.
Thank you. Good to see you both.
Thanks. Nice to meet you, Antonella.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.